What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 205. Today's episode is going to be breaking down the 2025 rookie quarterback class. Now, I'm only going to use 10 quarterbacks in this video. My next running back video will have 20, 25, maybe wide receivers 20 as well, because I don't really have any of these tight ends, any of these quarterbacks in my superstar tier here. So I'm going to use 10, and I'm going to show you the guy that missed out on making the top 10. And then I'm going to break down to you all my designs and charts and tell you what their strengths and weaknesses are heading in. Scouting report, combine, everything. I've watched a bunch of tape on them, so I'm going to give you all my insights here. It's going to be very, very, very in-depth here. And I'm going to try and do this with all of my rookie rankings. I'm going to try and make them as in-depth as possible heading into the NFL draft here, and why I think you should be moving up for picks or moving up for trades. And that's going to happen in all of my videos coming up here, Dynasty as well. Before we head into it, guys, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscription, all the support. Appreciate you guys have been absolutely amazing. Again, if you guys have any Dynasty trades, anything you got going on outside of the video, doesn't have to pertain to this, you can drop it down in the comments below. I try to answer every single one of them. And let's dive into this 2025 rookie quarterback class. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my QB rookie ranking back board, the ballers tier at the top. Obviously, like I said before, I don't have any of these quarterbacks ranked in the ballers, so we're going to go tier 1 to tier 5 here. And at the bottom there, like I said, you see Rourke there. Rourke was my guy that was close to making the top 10, but teeter-tottered, and I kept him at number 11. So if there was a number 11 ranking quarterback for me, it would be Rourke, guys. Now, let's look at it here. And this is going to be, I've got a little new setup here, stuff going on, so if I miss something here and there, give me a second. I'll get back to it here. So my number 1 QB, I was back and forth with Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. Cam Ward, the Washington State transfer to Miami that saved his career, had a very, very, very lustrous season last year with Miami, losing in the bowl at the end. They kind of gave him some leadership roles against him there. I'm not going to fault him for that. I think he was already looking ahead to the draft here. Now, my breakdowns for Cam Ward here. So here's a little slide I popped out here. So 22 years old, 6'2", 220, gotta like the size, not short, not tall, right in the middle range of quarterback height. Came out with 4,300 passing yards, which was second in the class. And then I want to drop down right to his interceptions, which are 7th. This is a number you want to be higher. So 79th is very, very good for him there. Great TD to int ratio. 43 total TDs on the year. 234 rushing yards to go with it as well. And he had an 88 QBR, and that was number 1 in the NCAA. Completion percentage 67.2, which was 12th. Got like that. And his PFF grade was 92.9, which was first. But Rourke's was higher, so I'm using this as first between my top 10 rankings here now. Now, the strengths and weaknesses when I'm looking at Cam Ward here, right? So the number 1 thing that you have to like with Cam Ward, no matter what, is going to be his dual threat ability. The ability to make plays outside the pocket, the ability to make plays with his legs, to feel the presence coming. All of this is what you want in a quarterback with Cam Ward here. Now, when you're looking at the velocity of his tight window throws, he has an amazing ability to thread the needle, get the ball into the wide receiver, get them yak, and hit them on stride. That is what you want. He's a quick processor of the defenses as well. And then when I went to his weaknesses while watching his tape as well here, and man, when we get to the Kyle McCord game, if you guys have not watched the Syracuse-Miami game, it's one of my favorite games to watch. It was absolutely bonkers. Great, great performance from Cam Ward there. Now, his deep ball accuracy, the man has a cannon arm, right? But when the ball's 40, 50 plus yards, he loses a little accuracy on it. I don't know, could be wind in the games. I've seen about 8 to 9, possibly 10 throws I watched of his tape where he just overthrows deep balls. And the number 1 thing that pointed out to me for weakness is ball security. This guy had 8 fumbles last season, which led the NCAA for starting quarterbacks. Not what you want there. And another weakness I alluded to at the beginning would be his competitive drive for me. In that Pop-Tart Bowl at the end, he kind of it's like he gave up. He was already looking for the NFL draft. I'm not going to go against him like that. It wasn't a national championship game. It wasn't BCS or nothing like that. So I'm not going to fault him too much there. Now, heading into my quarterback number 2, and on Twitter yesterday, I tweeted it out, or 2 days ago, way too early. This is a revamped quarterback ranking. I had Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to move that back now. We are going to be looking at Shedeur Sanders here as my number 2 QB heading in. And now, Shedeur Sanders. I got to get to his card here. Hang on. Trying to figure out how to do it all at the same time here fast enough. Okay. So, Shedeur Sanders, 23 years old, 6'2", 212, right around the same height Cam Ward. They're got to like that. Passing yards, 4,134, fourth in the nation. Travis Hunter obviously helped that a lot. Rushing yards was -50, which is weird because, running around the scrambling plays of him, I don't look at that at all like it's going to affect his college career. He is going to be a dual threat. He does have legs that work in the NFL. He's going to make stuff happen out of the pocket. 41 TDs, total TDs, which was 5th. Interceptions was 10, which is 34th. QBR was 78.2, which was 16th. Completion percentage was number 1 in the NCAA at 74%. And I'm going to break down that in his strengths here in the scouting report of why that's so important to him here. PFF grade was 90.9, which was 3rd amongst QBs. Now, and if you've watched any of Shedeur Sanders' tapes, you got to know that Colorado had a very bad offensive line too. So when you're looking at the weaknesses where it says taking sacks, yeah, he obviously held the ball too long. Kind of sticks on his first read a lot. Took a lot of sacks there for a weaknesses side. The strength side, the man's ability in the short passing game is one of the best I've seen in college football. He can, predict what's going to happen with the defense within the short game range, and it's just absolutely elite decision making and quick release time there. That's absolutely one of his big strengths. Now, the dual threat ability, like I said, the -50 yards rushing, we can throw that out the window. That's just scrambling around, making plays in the game. Hail Mary, he lost like 60 yards on a play or something. So, you throw that out the window. Now, we talked about taking sacks. Now, the anticipation is another thing where he's in his pocket presence here. This is a weakness of his. He will just look to get out of it. Like he does not anticipate the blitz that is coming, and it will turn out bad for him. And that's something that's very coachable and very learnable. But his playmaking ability, and yeah, a lot of people are going to tell me, oh, Travis Hunter did make a lot of plays. He's jumping between 3 defenders. He's making Hail Mary catches at the end of the game. I know all this, but still, the throws that he makes, tight window throws, are very nice. And I moved Shedeur Sanders number 2 above Jackson Dart for me. Number 3 here, the last one in tier 1 is going to be Jackson Dart. And I did have him number 2 days ago. Watching the tapes and stuff, I moved Shedeur Sanders up a little bit. Obviously, draft board wise, you're probably going to have Cam Ward going to the Titans. And if Shedeur Sanders goes to the Cleveland Browns at number 2, then the Giants are in full panic mode and we don't know what's going to happen. I've also seen some Saints trying to take the 9th pick and get Jackson Dart. Derek Carr, his injury history, 33 years old, could be a pickup there as well. Now, Jackson Dart. Let me pull his card here. So, Ole Miss quarterback, coming from a transfer from USC in his freshman year. 23 years old, 6'2", 212, 2nd in passing yards, 4,000, I think it was 3rd in passing yards. Sorry. Let me pull it up here. It looks kind of short there. Yeah, 3rd in passing yards, 4,279. Rushing yards, again, -50 for him. Not a great dual threat. He can run still, but don't look at those numbers. Total TDs was 32, that's 16th. Interceptions was 6. That's absolutely phenomenal interception numbers. That put him 90th. That's the lowest there is for all 10 of these quarterbacks. Completion percentage, 69.3, 9th. You'd like to see that come up a little bit here. PFF grade was 92.5. That's 2nd in the class. Now, watching his tape, his strengths is this guy is one of the best man beater throwing quarterbacks. Now, when I say man beater, there's just one-on-one putting the ball in the position for your wide receiver to go get it. And he didn't really have a lot of superstar talent at Ole Miss to go around with him at wide receiver. So things to notice there. Now, his quick release is absolutely one of the fastest in the NCAA coming into the draft right now. The man's like a 2.5 to 2.7 drop back and can get rid of it, can read the defense very well there to do that as well. And the way that he commands the huddle and the ice that he has in his veins were my 3rd takeaway for his strengths, because this guy, as the game goes on or as the game gets closer and the game gets more competitive, you just get a better Jackson Dart, and that is one of the best traits to have heading into the NFL. One of the weaknesses that I noticed is deep ball accuracy as well, just like Cam Ward I talked about. A little off when it goes over 40 to 50 yards. That's very fixable. Another one is his eye movement. He is not looking off the defenders like he should be. He's not shoulder faking. He's not eye faking. He's not head faking enough. This can all be QB mechanically fixed. Not a huge problem there. Trusting the protections. Obviously, when you're playing in the SEC, you're playing against the top defenses. His offensive line was not one of the best. Very, very, very blitz packages were coming at him. So trusting his protections is always there, and he needs to work on that as well heading forward here. Heading into my QB number 4, we are going to be looking at Jalen Milroe, and he's going to lead off my tier 2 here. And Jalen Milroe just absolutely blew the doors off the 40 time yesterday. Oh my goodness, 4.37. That is faster than Justin Jefferson ran at LSU. That is how athletic of a freak Jalen Milroe is. Now, when I'm looking at Jalen Milroe here, 22 years old, 6'2", 217, fitting right in the breed with the other quarterbacks at the top. Rushing yards, though, 726. That is second behind Riley Leonard. I didn't put that up there because all the rushing yards were negative and scrambled around, so I didn't really rank out the rushing yards, but I'll tell you from off my head. Passing yards, 2,844, so almost a 4,000 yard, about 3,500, 3,600 total yard career here at Bama. And, he had to wait his time to get here from Bama, too. It wasn't a transfer, nothing. He just waited it out, finally got his opportunity, and it thrived. 36 total TDs, which is 11th, 11 interceptions. That is very high. That is the second most. 12th is the most in the NCAA, so you want to see those numbers drop there. 82.8 QBR, which was 8th. Completion percentage also 64.3, very low here, 40th. This is more of an athletic build quarterback type. PFF grade was 87.4, which is 4th. Now, looking at his tapes in here and stuff, 40-time elite speed. I just talked about this guy is a freak of nature athlete. He can run with the best of them, a cannon arm. And when I was talking about Jackson Dart and what he doesn't do well, this is where Jalen Milroe does this well. He fakes out. He uses rapid eye movement. He uses shoulder fakes. Obviously, that comes with athletic ability and running ability, so you see it more. But you have to love that from Jalen Milroe here. And honestly, I really do think that the Steelers may take a shot in the 3rd round here on this guy. So very, very interesting play, depending on where Aaron Rodgers does in free agency or however it works out. Jalen Milroe could be a monster pickup here. Weaknesses, ball placement. I mean, again, we talked about accuracy, 64.3. He sails a ton of passes. I probably watched about hour, 30 minutes of his tape, and I probably saw 15, 20 overthrows that are wide open, way too much. He's got to fix that problem. Looking to run is another problem he has. He'll see a check down or he'll miss a check down. He'll miss the wide open guys because he just looks to run as soon as he sees the blitz coming. Obviously young, that's fixable as well. And that leads to holding the ball too long, taking sacks in the process here. Now, heading down to quarterback number 5 here, we are going to be looking at, and I'm probably the highest ranker of him. I love the tape. I love everything about Tyler Shough out of Louisville here. Now, the bad part for Tyler Shough is that he's 25 years old. He's been a journeyman around his NCAA 7-year career from Oregon to Texas Tech, then to Louisville, and then he finally thrived. But the reason that he was around all of these teams in his college career was he had a massive injury career for his college, massive injuries throughout his college career, which really hurt him. So when we're looking at Tyler Shough here, so 25 years old, big problem there. 6'5", the tallest quarterback coming out. Got to like that. Sees over the line very well. Feeds the middle of the field probably better than any quarterback in this draft. Again, I'm not saying he's better than them. I'm just saying that's one of his strengths. Weight 220. And hang on here. I got to pull this up as well. I can't read the little things in there. So 3,195 passing yards. That's 20th. Rushing yards, 19. Obviously not a dual threat at all. Not a very mobile quarterback, but the man is an athletic freak, which is weird. So it's two ways to look at it. I'll get that in a second here. Total TDs was 24. That's 53rd. Interceptions was 8. That's 60th. That's very good. That's, the best was 6. So that's very good to see there. QBR 75.5, which is 22nd. Completion percentage, that's got to come up. 62.7, 54th. That's very bad. PFF grade, he was 8th in the class at 87.4. Now, when I talk about the rushing yards not really affecting, it's like Shedeur Sanders -50, right? This guy can front flip into the end zone of games, and he's huge. Think about 6'5" front flip right now. The guy is an athletic freak, and he has one of the best arc hook like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hook shot touch I've seen. Watching the quarterback tape so far this year. And another good thing is he comes from pro style. He comes from 3 different playbooks. He knows different coaching styles that lead into the NFL, which is very good there as well. Now, I've seen a couple second, third round looks at him. I'm going to say third to fourth round. But if a quarterback goes down and this is your backup quarterback, I know he's 25 years old again. It scares teams away because all the other quarterbacks are 22, 23. So you're looking at a journeyman kind of. But if he gets an opportunity in the right situation, I really, really do like Tyler Show. He is my QB5 on the season right now, or coming into the draft right now. And that's it for tier two. Like I said, I'm not really fully dialed in, or not really, I'm going to say fully dialed in. I'm not fully in love with this quarterback class. If I'm already looking at 2026 and you're trying to rebuild right now, here's a little insert moment. The quarterbacks next year are going to be way better than the quarterbacks this year. Heading down to tier three here is going to be Quinn Ewers out of Texas. So the man that came from Ohio State transferred to Texas in his college career here. Quinn Ewers, let me get his slide here. As we're going. Quinn Ewers is 22 years old, 6'3". He is 206 pounds. He was 14th in passing, 3,472 yards. Rushing yards, negative 82. You know, again, don't look at those numbers like it's going to impact the NFL like that. These are crazy college plays. Total TDs was 33, 13th right there. Interceptions was 12th. Those numbers have got to come down. That is tied for second highest in the NCAA for starting quarterbacks or any of the drafting quarterbacks as well. QBR 65.6, not great there. That was 26. Completion percentage 64.3, not great there either. PFF grade was tied for fourth in the class. Now, it's when you look at Quinn Ewers and you watch the season that he had, he is absolutely immaculate when the pocket is clean. He is money time throws, money ball quarterback, but you're never going to have a clean pocket 24/7. So this has to be fixed with him. When the pressure hits him, he absolutely panics and it becomes a different style quarterback for him, especially when you're playing great competition. Then they just look different from him. Play action fakes. He's probably the best play action faking quarterback out of the class. So when I say like head fakes and eye movement and shoulder fakes, all that, that is not the same as play action fakes. Quinn Ewers has a different breed style of hiding the ball, of turning his body. It's amazing to watch for him. I think that's his best trait that I took out of his entire tape that I watched. And he has a very quick twitch release, which is something that's nice to see as well, and a very nice throwing motion. That's one of the things I noticed with him as well. I didn't put that on there, but I'll throw that in there. His weakness is short passing accuracy. Like when I talk about Shedeur Sanders, it's unbelievable. When I talk about Quinn Ewers, it's very, very bad, as you can tell by the 64.3%. He is, for some reason, the 10 to 15 media range is not his strength. It's about 20 to 30, 20 to 40 range for him. And it's just weird. I think those are very, very fixable, but it's weird to see. Limited mobility, like we said, rushing. He's not a dual threat rushing quarterback, not a athletic freak at all. Like I said, with Tyler Show, who's doing front flips at 6'5", and he has a big injury history, which is why people are going to be scared of him in the draft. Probably a third, fourth, fifth round pick here. Heading down to my next quarterback here, and this one, man, Will Howard. I mean, I was super, super high on him, and then all of a sudden when I watched his combine, it kind of went downhill. This guy missed like 8 to 10 throws in a row, dropped his draft capitals drastically during the combine. Was not great for him. But 23 years old, 6'4", gotta like the height, 236, the biggest quarterback in the class coming out. Obviously the national champion, 4,000 passing yards, that was 6th in the class, 226 rushing. You gotta like the rushing yards there. 42 total TDs, which is 4th. You love that in a big conference. They play big teams. You got to like those numbers. 10 interceptions. That could come down a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's right in the middle. 34th. QBR was 83. That's 7th. Completion percentage was 73%, which is second best in the NCAA. You have to like those numbers. And he's like a giant work in progress to me. Every athletic thing is here with him. It's just going to take a couple coaches to fix a couple things, but we'll get to that in a second here. PFF grade was 86.4, which is 5th. Strengths, advanced. The way that he can get to the second level with his reads is better than any quarterback in this class. I'll argue that with anyone I've watched enough tape. This is his number one strength, is processing the second level, reading the defenses. It is very, very good, which leads to his deep ball accuracy, which is probably the best deep ball accuracy in the class as well. And like I said, he's an athletic freak. Now, weakness aside, obviously, the combine really, really crushed him. I mean, if you watch the don't watch it. Just don't do it. It's very, very ugly. It's very, very bad. but I mean, I'm not gonna like fault the guy for one bad day. You get nerves. Everybody's watching. I'm not gonna say like he hasn't had that in the national championship game, but still, it was just one of those bad days. I don't think that would happen again if we ran it back. This is where he's one of the worst to me at when reading it, right? So when he's going through his reads, yes, he can get to the second level, but he locks onto his first read more than any quarterback I'm talking about here to these top 10, which is a big problem that needs to be fixed. He misses a lot of checkdowns. He misses a lot of wide receiver slot routes. He misses a lot of those because he's not good at identifying the blitzes either. And that's something that's going to come with time and playing in the NFL as well. Very, very coachable things. But Will Howard, to me, and I ranked him lower. Obviously, Combine really hurt him. This guy could be a starting quarterback. I firmly believe that he has all the traits. It's just a massive work in progress with him. Heading to here we go. This is my guy right here. So I probably rank him higher than anyone right now. It is going to be Kyle McCord. Now, Kyle McCord out of Syracuse, like I said earlier, if you haven't watched the Syracuse-Miami game, sorry, I'm all over the place with all the rankings, everything going on. This guy comes back and beats Cam Ward in a shootout game, which was massive for his draft stock and everything at the time. My Discord's going off. Let me close this real quick. So 22 years old, 6'3", 218. He's my sleeper quarterback of the draft. I tweeted that out a couple days ago. Passing yards, first in the NCAA, 4,799, 400 more than the second place behind him, Cam Ward. Rushing yards, again, -65. Don't look at that. Total TDs, 37. That was 8th. Interceptions, 12th. Those numbers got to come down. But when you're a gunslinger like Brett Favre, which is like my QB comp for him, he just takes every shot. So those numbers, right, they don't look great now in college, but that can change. QBR was 77, which is 17th. Completion percentage, 66. That's got to come up. But PFF grade was 90.5. Now, looking at his tape strengths, these are my 3 strengths for him. Attacking mindset. So when I'm just, like I just said, Brett Favre, gunslinger, let's go for it. He puts the defenses on their heels because he's a go for it, go get it. He will make the dangerous throws, make the dangerous plays, and make it happen. Sometimes, obviously, it doesn't work, but that is one of the strengths that I like because he's a go for it, go getter, attacking quarterback. Now, second thing I liked was he allows the routes to develop. Now, when you say that, yeah, that does, you got to not have massive pressure in your face, but his ability to read to the second level, to read 1 to 2 to 3 is probably top 3 in the class to me at his ability to know the routes that are happening, know the playbook, know the wide receiver that's going to be open. He's very, very good at this. And this man has the fastest release time in NCAA at 2.5 right now. This guy's lightning quick release, so he can get the ball out, lickety split, and be out of there. Weaknesses, limited athleticism. So like I said, the rushing yards, he's not a dual threat quarterback. He's not an athletic freak by any means. But you could say the same thing about Tom Brady, and people call him the GOAT. So I don't even look at that like it's a massive factor, but it is one that's there. And he locks on. So when I'm talking about allows the routes to develop, he locks on, though, a lot, and I'm not gonna say locks on. I should change that. He misses a lot of checkdowns, is what I should say. He'll let the wide receiver routes develop from 1 to 2 to 3, but then he will miss the checkdowns, which are wide open. I've watched literally probably about 12 to 13 pass plays where the running back is just wide open and he just does not see him, which is something he's got to change. And when he's under pressure, it changes the whole Kyle McCord mindset. When the pressure is coming, his accuracy, that's why his accuracy is very low. The throws are sailed. He airballs a lot of them when he's under pressure. I get it, young quarterback. These are changeable things. But Kyle McCord is my sleeper quarterback that I really, really like. And if he gets a good landing spot, he will be a starting quarterback. I don't think he will ever look back if he gets the job. He's one of my favorite. Number 10 here, breaking it down here on Riley Leonard. He finished number 9. He's my leading off my tier 5 here. Notre Dame, very, very, very rough, championship game for them going down the stretch there. But with Riley Leonard, so what you're getting here is a 22-year-old, 6'4", second tallest right behind Tyler Show, 216. But this guy is a rushing freak. So 2,861 passing yards, 9th. 906 rushing yards, which is first, almost putting him 3,800 yards. Total TDs 38, that was 7th. Interceptions 8th. interceptions for him, that should be lower with how much he runs the ball, honestly. So that's not a great number for him there. QBR 78.9, which is 14th. Completion percentage 66.7. You like to see that come up. PFF grade was the lowest in the class at 83.5. But now when I'm watching this tape, elite wheels, we just talked about rushing yards. This guy is dual threat mania. You can give him like a Tim Tebow kind of rushing comp with a better passing arm. Pocket presence he has is very, very good. But when I'm looking at pocket presence, right, like, and you got to say that with the blitz coming, there's so many different ways to look at pocket presence. But I should have put pocket awareness more. Like his pocket awareness of knowing where the blitz is coming from, knowing where to step up, knowing where to run out of. He does run a lot, looks to run too much, kind of. But man, he's very, very, very knowledgeable of where the pocket is moving to, where the pocket is going, and it's one of my best things I saw from him. Number 3 is the natural born leader. This guy was a leader at the start of his career, and it's going to finish the same way from Duke to Notre Dame. He commanded the huddle every single time. Everybody respects him. And that's one thing you have to like a lot with Riley Leonard. Weaknesses, hero ball. So, he will run out. He will make too many mistakes trying to be a hero play, as you saw in the national championship game as well. Just mistake. Still, you're playing against one of the best teams in the country. I get that, obviously. But he's got to work on his mechanics under center as well. He is, the Tim Tebow project. So that's like the perfect comp for him. And one of the main concerns is he had a major toe injury, which is talked about a lot. I don't like to put injuries on here, but I've read enough reports on the toe injury. And with how much he runs, it is a concern that people have. So I'm throwing that in there as a weakness as well for Riley Leonard. Now, last but not least, we're going to go with the shortest quarterback in the class, Dillon Gabriel out of Oregon. Now, Dillon Gabriel. So when you're looking at Dillon Gabriel, 24 years old, a little older there, always hurts the age. That's why I have age on there. 5'11", shortest quarterback coming out of the top 10 we're talking about, 205. 3,857 passing yards. That was 8th. 149 rushing yards. He can still run the ball. 37 total TDs, which is 8th. Interceptions is 6th. That's great. That's the lowest out of the entire class. QBR was 86.5. Completion percentage 72.9. QBR was 2nd in the class. Completion was 3rd. Look at the numbers. PFF grade 86.6. 9th. Now, when you're looking at all those numbers, better than the quarterbacks I ranked ahead of them, but there's reasons why I have Dillon Gabriel lower. Not only the Oregon offense and how they move with Chip Kelly, who's now gone, but we'll go with the weaknesses first. So age and undersized is huge. I'm not saying, undersized quarterback can't do it. You could pull up Drew Brees if you wanted 5'9", guy can ball out, right? Anybody can do it that's shorter. But the thing that drove me nuts with Dillon Gabriel when watching it is all of his throws are outside the hashes. Could be size. Obviously people are going to say that because he's shorter, can't see over the line. But he doesn't really have a lot of completions across the middle, which is absolutely crazy to me. He lives outside the numbers. That cannot be sustainable in the NFL. That is something that has to be fixed 100%. Strength-wise, blitz identification, one of the best, one of the smartest minds the quarterback there is, knows where it's coming from, knows how to read the defense, knows the safety packages, knows the ghost packages, knows the psycho packages. Very, very good with that. Quick release as well. And my favorite trait with Dillon Gabriel was 100% that he can maximize the throw for the yak for the wide receiver, pinpoint that accuracy. So when you're looking at, the completion percentage is 72.9. And like I said, none of that's really across the middle. Think about that in terms right there. So he's hitting the out hashes yak-wise, vertical hash-wise, go routes hash-wise. It's absolutely amazing. His touch on the ball is very good. That's one of the things I like a lot with Dillon Gabriel. Bang! Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the video. That is my 2025 top 10 quarterbacks heading into the NFL draft coming up here. And I will be live for the NFL draft the entire time if you guys want to come hang out with that as well. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. All the support's appreciated. My next video is going to be insanity. This is why I took all my time on this quarterback one, because my running back one is going to be a deep dive into 20 players. And this is the running back class, guys. If you subscribed to my channel the year before, I did not like the running back class coming out last year. But Bucky Irving was obviously one of the monster hits, but I was never in on Benson, Jonathan Brooks, Corum, any of them. and you could pull the tape on that. This is the running back class to be in on. It is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to break it down, but it's probably going to be a while because I have a lot still to go through. I've only gone through like 10 hours of tape on it. I want to do a little more. And I hope to see you guys in the next one, man. I'll also be live tonight doing some drafts. All the support you guys have shown me is absolutely amazing. Again, if you have any comments or questions you guys want, drop them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one or live tonight, man. Peace. Sleaze Bomb out.